what we're going to do is we're just briefly going to go through some of these specific heat calculations. When you have phase changes, or maybe you don't have phase changes, but you have water and you're either increasing the temperature or decreasing the temperature, maybe it's not going through a phase change. How do you work the calculations out? And it's something that I want to make sure, it can be really confusing, but it's not that confusing. So I just want to make sure that we get this all straight. That way it's all clear in everyone's minds, okay? And plus, it'll help you with just the understanding of enthalpy and energy changes and delta H at the same time as well, okay? So the first thing I want to talk to you about is a sign, because it's important that you understand the sign. So it says, typically, what you're going to do is, I had said from the beginning that we are not going to use positives and negatives until we're done with the problem. You're going to analyze it, because the truth is, it can be positive or it can be negative. It depends on what you're looking at. What perspective are you looking at? Are you saying that your water temperature rose because some reaction lost its energy? That would mean that the reaction losing its energy would be what sign? Why negative? Because it's losing energy, it's exothermic. But are you looking at the water? Because if the water temperature rose, that means that the water actually absorbed the energy. Then it's positive, okay? So it depends on what perspective you're looking at based on your sign, okay? So I would recommend doing the sign after the fact. Say my temperature increased, negative exothermic, my temperature decreased, positive endothermic for the reaction, okay? So typically you're asked for the reaction. Sometimes you're asked for the water. That's different. So it says if your temperature increases, delta H is negative, it's exothermic, the reaction was losing energy to the water. If your temperature decreases, then it's positive, the reaction was gaining energy, okay? It says in this case, though, in this problem, we only have one substance, and it's water. And the water, we're only checking the temperature of the water. And if the water temperature went up, and it's just water, how could you get water's temperature to increase? How can you get water's temperature to increase?
Boil.
By adding heat. Perfect. You don't necessarily have to boil it, right? Because that's the phase change. But how can you get the temperature of it to increase? Just simply by adding heat. And if you add the heat, then water is doing what to the heat? Absorbing it. That would be endothermic. But the temperature of the water is rising. So it's backwards because, again, it depends on how you're looking at it. So make sure that you have a good idea of what's your perspective. So is the reaction losing its energy? That's exothermic because the water temperature went up. That's good. So if you put a thermometer in there and the temperature goes up, we're saying it's exothermic. But if the only thing you have in there is water, then water must have absorbed the energy from somewhere else. Or, just like you sweating, what is sweating? Is that a cooling process or a warming process? Everybody knows that sweating is a cooling process. You're releasing the energy to the outside, okay? And so you're cooling down. That's actually an exothermic. You are cooling down, but what are you looking at? What perspective are you looking at? That's all this is, okay? So it says, in this case, you're actually checking to see what's happening to the water. Therefore, if the water temperature goes down, it's cooling. That means the water released energy, similar to like you sweating being a cooling process, and it's exothermic. And it's the opposite if you're warming the water. If you're warming the water, you added, you supplied the energy, the water absorbed it. That's got to be positive, and that would be endothermic, okay, instead of being exothermic. So when you see the signs on the bottom, on the back page, there are answers to this, and you'll see that the sign is there. Those are right, okay? Those signs are done correctly. All right, so remember, during a phase change, what's wrong during a phase change? Why does none of this work during a phase change? What's wrong? The temperature's constant. Your temperature's not increasing, your temperature's not decreasing, your temperature is remaining constant. And if delta T is 0 and you go to do MC delta T, mathematically, what's wrong with that? You can't multiply by 0. If you multiply by 0, everything's going to be 0. That doesn't work, okay? So you can't do MCAT if you're doing a phase change. During a phase change, it's different. What you're going to do is you're going to think freezer or stove. That's the best way to do this. If you use a stove, if a stove would help you, it's endo. If you use a freezer, it's exo, okay? That's how I've always remembered those phase changes. That makes it a lot easier to get your sign right. Okay, so let's start with this. The first thing is, all three of these, you can use MCAT. Why can you use MCAT? Because they're giving you C, the specific heat. This is C, this is C, this is C. This happens to be for solid, for the ice. This one happens to be for the steam, which is the gas or the vapor. And this happens to be for the water, which is going to be the liquid. Okay? These two are fusion and vaporization. What is fusion referring to? Liquid to solid or solid to liquid. It's either one, and the reason why is, I'm going to do a double arrow. The reason why it's either one is because the value would be the same. What's the only thing that would be different? The sign. Awesome. Nice. Okay. So what's vaporization? Gas to liquid or liquid to gas. Again, it's just your sign that's going to be different. These two, I would not use MCAT. Why can't you use MCAT? What are you missing in these units? Delta T. There's no change in temperature. But that's good, right? Because there shouldn't be a change in temperature, because if it's a phase change, your temperature is not changing. Okay? So this, I would use a bridge. You can just convert, and you've got your kilojoules and your moles, and you can just convert your grams to moles, and then use this value. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. These problems on this front side are all one-steppers, okay? Let's do one of each type. Let's take a look at maybe let's look at number 2. And it says that you have 200 grams of water at 4 degrees Celsius, and you're going to water at 88 degrees Celsius. Okay. We're going to draw a heating curve before we do this. Okay, so over here in the margin, we're at water at 4 degrees Celsius, and it's still liquid water at 88 degrees Celsius. So all we're doing is this. Our water is at 4 degrees Celsius, and our water is going up to 88 degrees Celsius. If this is water, is there a phase change anywhere in between there? No, why not? Where do our phase changes happen for water? 0 and 100. Perfect. We're not going through 0, we're not going through 100. This, on a heating curve, which our heating curve would look like this. What's this? Solid, solid liquid, liquid, liquid gas, gas. Awesome, okay? These, if this is water, then this here would be happening at 0 degrees Celsius, and where would this be happening? 100 degrees Celsius, okay? And remember, it's by what I call the Britney Spears effect. The temperature remains constant because all the energy is being used to change phases. So these are our phase changes that are happening here. You can go this way or you can come back the other way, okay? So what we're doing here is we're just right here. That's the only place we're at, okay? So if you look at this, the liquid, we're going to come up here and we've got liquid, just water. We're not going through a phase change. So what can I use? What equation can I use? MCAT. Delta H is equal to MC delta T. What is the M? What mass do they tell us we have? 200 grams. What's our specific heat? 4.18. Good. They gave us 4.18 on this, so we'll just use that. Joules per gram degree Celsius. And what's our temperature change? 4 to 88 is? 84. Good. 84 degrees Celsius. Okay? So now we're going to multiply these three, and what you should get is, and then we'll talk about the sign, you should get 7.03 times 10 to the 4th, and what would your units be? What happens to grams? Cancel out. What happens to degrees Celsius? Cancel out. What are you left with? Joules. Awesome, and that's what we wanted. So always check your units, make sure that your units are right, so it's joules. Now the question is positive or negative. So in this case here, our temperature of our water was increasing. We're not going through a phase change. This is not 0 or 100, okay? So our temperature of the water was increasing. How can the water's temperature increase? What do you have to do? You have to supply heat. Perfect. Which means that the water is absorbing it. So this sign would be positive. Awesome. Okay? And then you just want to check on the back to make sure that you got the answer right. And I did arrange it now, so it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So number 2 is a positive 7.03 times 10 to the 4th. Let's try one that is more than one step. Okay, let's see how we do. Questions?
So what do we do 4 significant digits for these?
We're just gonna do 3 on these. Typically, sometimes temperature is used for sig figs and sometimes it's not, okay? So we're gonna use 3. We're gonna try to use I tried to do it so that it was 3 for all of them, except for the temperature. Okay, so let's do one that is maybe a 3-step problem. Let me see, number 7 is a 3-step one, this one right here. Let's do this one. If we're starting at 100 degrees Celsius and it's steam, then what has to happen to the steam before it gets to be ice? It has to first turn into a liquid. Perfect. So we're going to stay at 100 until this is liquid gas converting back to liquid. Then it's going to start cooling down, right? And our liquid, this is all liquid, our liquid's going to come down to what temperature? 0. Now you're going to get to 0 degrees Celsius, and what's going to happen to your liquid is it's going to convert into solid. So we're actually going backwards on the line. And so now our liquid is turning into solid, and this is 0 degrees Celsius. So why is this 3 steps? So step 1 is gas to liquid. Step 2 is cooling your liquid. And step 3 is liquid converting into solid. Okay, let's start with gas to liquid. It's a phase change. So, and if it's gas to liquid, which one of these would be representing gas to liquid? The very last one. This one right here, that 40.79. So we're going to use that number for the gas to liquid. And what did we say about these 2? We said we were going to use bridge math. These 3, we said we were going to use MCAT. So on this one, let's use our bridge math and watch how this works. So I know it's 40.7 kilojoules per mole, but I'm going to start, if I want to end with 1 unit, I want to start with 1 unit. So let's start with a 330. 330 grams of water. Throw in a bridge, cross my units opposite. The molar mass of water, we're going to use 18.02 grams per mole, which on WebAssign, if you don't, you'll be off on your answers on WebAssign. So make sure you use 18, for hydrogen, use 1.01, okay? Otherwise, it'll throw off your answers. Now I'm in moles. I don't want moles. Where do I write moles? On the bottom. What do I know from my problem now? The kilojoules. I know that it's 40.79 kilojoules for every mole of water. But I don't want kilojoules, I want joules. So I'm going to write kilojoules one more time down on the bottom. You can either just shift your decimal. If you're going to a smaller unit, your number should be getting bigger, so then you would multiply by 1,000, or you can just do this and say the bigger one gets the 1, the kilojoule gets the 1, and the smaller one gets the conversion, which is 1 times 10 to the 3rd, or 1,000. And so now you're going to plug this into your calculator, and what do you get? You should get something like 7.47 times 10 to the 5th joules. Now let's do the second one. The second one is all liquid. So now we can use MCAT. So I'm going to do delta H is equal to MC delta T. Okay, what's our mass? Give me 30. Times our specific heat, which is, this is, we're liquid water. 4.18, awesome. Joules per gram degrees Celsius. And our delta T is the temperature change. What is the temperature change of the liquid? 100 is 0, so it's 100. Good. Because it's 100 down to 0. Okay, so you always want to check to make sure you have that right. So go ahead and multiply this, and we are in joules because grams cancel and Celsius cancels. And we have 1.38 times 10 to the 5th joules. Last one. Liquid to solid. So now we're at a phase change again. There's no temperature change. Our temperature is staying constant. So we are not using specific heat. Which one of these are we using now? Fusion. Awesome. Now we're using fusion. Very good. So now we've got liquid to solid. So let's start with our mass again. 330 grams. Throw in a bridge. Cross my units opposite. This part's the same. 18.02 grams per mole for the water. Now I'm in moles. I don't want moles, so I write it down here. What is my kilojoule per mole now? 6.01 kilojoules per mole. Now I have one more step again, and I'm just going to go kilojoules to joules by multiplying by 1,000. And if you multiply and divide by 18.02, you should get 1.10 times 10 to the 5th joules. What do you do with all of these numbers? You add them, and if you sum all of these up, you should get 9.95 times 10 to the 5th joules. Let's talk about the sign real quick. Okay, let's talk sign real quick. It's really easy to figure out if you know any one of these because your sign's going to be the same. You're moving in the same direction. So no matter what, if you know one of them, you're fine. Okay? So if you're going from a gas to a liquid or a liquid to a solid, let's do that because that might be easier. Would a freezer be better or a stove be better if you're going from a liquid to a solid? In other words, you're going from water to ice. What would help you? A freezer. And a freezer would be exo. So that means that this is negative. So check your answer down on the bottom. And it should be number 7, should say negative 9.95 times 10 to the 5th.
So the only reason we had to do 3 separate problems for that is because there's no direct change from steam to ice.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You have to actually do the conversion. You can't just go one step to get it. Good? Everybody's good? All right, and that's how you would do the conversions.